Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा Thank you everyone for joining the midweek class. I know it's a little difficult on a weekday, but thank you. We'll try to wrap up by 9. So we are in the 11th chapter. We are reading the description of Arjuna of this Vishwarupa / Kalarupa. So we started from 11:28 last week. So let's do a quick revision because there are some important verses here. So 11:28.
Can I do, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, please.
11:28 and 29 together, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, you can do because they go together.
11:28. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. 11.29. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouth as moth dash to destruction in a blazing fire. So here the word yata is as Nadinam is the river, and you were also explaining about the difference between these two. Like both of them describe same thing, like they are entering into the mouth of Krishna, but there is a great difference between these two. The first one is like it's flowing like a river, how it is entering into the ocean. It is like you have given the example of Bhishmacharya, they are the great devotees of the Lord, but still they are, according to Lord's will, they are acting as like in the opposite enemy, um, you know, playing as a enemy for Pandavas. So in this verse, um, like though they are like rivers flowing into the, and you give an example like though the rivers, the water merges into the ocean, but the aquatics which are in the water is still the same. So similarly, though we are like after our body is distracted, we still keep our identity. That is what the reference you have given here. Whereas the moth dashing into the destruction is like they are the non-devotees which are just destroyed, like how the moth get enter into the blaze, they get attracted to the blazing fire. So similarly, the non-devotees, they are just distracted by like the death. They don't, the death for both the devotees and the non-devotees are different. Whereas like the death is coming in the form of Krishna for the non-devotees, whereas the devotees would feel that they are going to see Krishna in future. So that is the difference between these two. Though both look same, that they are both getting destroyed, but the destruction of the uh, river, I mean the river that just merges into the ocean is different from the moth getting into the blazing fire.
Yep.
And yes, Prabhu. Is there any?
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So one more thing which we can say, so river entering into the ocean is very natural phenomena, and it's very beautiful phenomena. And while river is flowing towards the ocean, it's helping other people. The presence of river, is considered very auspicious. But when moth moves towards blazing fire, it's not auspicious at all. So while they were living, they were not very auspicious, and when they die, there's no sign of their presence or existence at all. So this one is, we are saying this is for Bhishma and Dronacharya. So when they are present there, we should not think they are inimical towards Lord. It's just Lord's pastime, which makes them to be on the other side by the Lord's arrangement. But Duryodhan was the one who was sort of calling for the war, Duryodhan and the other party. And we give the example of Maitreya Rishi as well, how Maitreya Rishi came and cursed Duryodhan in front of Dhritarashtra, but still Duryodhan would not listen. He was so obstinate. Okay, thank you, Mataji. Any other points anyone remembers, please add.
Like also you were mentioning about Srila Prabhupada, how during his presence in this world also he was very glorious. Even after
Yes.
departure also he is like still living with us, like in the form
Yes.
of books and
Yeah.
kirtans and
So we say the body of Prabhupada is no more amongst us, but the kirti, the glory of Prabhupada, time has no element to eat that up. So time could eat the body of Prabhupada, just a physical body, I mean, but time cannot eat the glory of what Prabhupada could do. It says, Ebu just Ghoshuk Tribhuvana. So Prabhupada is glorified not only in one temple, in all the temples around the world. And someone was saying in a lecture, there is no time in the earth where Prabhupada, the Guru Aarti is not going on. Huh? So like we are doing at 7:30 a.m. Sydney time. So New Zealand is doing different time. Japan is doing different time. India is doing different time. And there are Europe is doing different time. So all around the clock, Prabhupada's glory is getting sung all the time, all the time. This is real glory. This is real glory. Huh? What a non-devotee will achieve, something like that, cannot achieve. And not only on the earth, it says, in all the planetary systems, devotees' glories are getting sung. Thank you. So let's move to the next one. Leli Hase, anyone remembers the word Leli Hase?
Licking, Prabhu.
Licking. And what is he licking? Gulab jamun juice?
blood.
So that's why this makes this form like very sort of ugra, very horrible looking form, because someone licking blood. But that's the Krishna's Kala Rupa. Okay. 31. Yeah, that's important. This is the one question which Arjun will ask after seeing the Kala Rupa. He's very terrified, and he's asking two questions here. Maybe Jai Dharma Prabhu, you want to do that?
31, Prabhu.
Yes.
Of purifiers, I am the wind.
11:31.
As the many waves of, O Lord of the Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. So in this, after looking at the vibhutis of Lord and the supreme potency, Arjuna gets humbled and he is trying to inquire from Lord, even though he's standing right next to him as Lord Krishna, but he wants to understand whose his original position is, and he would like to know more about him and what his mission is. So he is just humbly asking that question. So I think one of the point which you mentioned is Bhavan is important in this word, because this is where the rasa has changed. Initially, he was more like a friend, and then eventually Arjuna has accepted him as a spiritual master. So this is where he is accepting is as a Parabrahma, so he is just trying to understand from him all these questions.
Yeah. And the special word here is Ugra Rupa. So Arjuna is openly saying, this Rupa is very Ugra, very fierce looking form you have. And Arjuna is saying, Akhya Himeko, please explain me, who are you? And Tava Pravrittim, what is your pravritti? What is your business? Why are you here? What is your mission? So let's see what Sri Bhagwan says in response to that. Khandasa Prabhu, would you like to do it? 1132.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Time I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain." It's actually Krishna is just pacifying Arjuna's fears. So Arjuna thinks that because everybody is entering into the mouth of Vishwarupa, probably he is the next one to go there. So Krishna is actually assuring him that the Pandavas will be spared, so he's not going to destroy them. So basically what he's saying here is, I am all devouring time. And the second point is also, I am here to destroy all the three lokas, but with exception of Pandavas. Yeah, I think that's a very brief.
Yes.
summary.
So we can just read some Sanskrit. So Kalosmi, this is a very sort of famous reference. We can learn that one. So who are you? Arjuna, he says Kalosmi. I am Kal, the destroyer. What is your pravritti? This is what he asked in the previous verse. So he said, Lokashaya Krata Pravritto, as Prabhuji was saying, I'm the great destroyer of the world. So he answered both questions in the first line. Lokan Samartham. So Samartham Loka means all the lokas, everyone, basically. Iha pravritti. This is my business here. This is what the question was. And Ritepi. So Rite word is also used many times in Bhagavad Gita. This means without or except you. Ritepi Tvam. Tvam means you, and Prabhupada writes the brackets Pandavas. So we discussed there were 11 people who were spared in the Mahabharat war. Anyone can name them quickly?
Hare Krishna, I can try.
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhuji.
So 5 Pandavas.
Yes.
Then we had Krishna, Satyaki, who was bodyguard of Krishna.
Yes.
Then we had Kripacharya, Ashwatthama, Kritvarma, Yuyutsu.
Thank you. सब कुछ याद है. युत्सु का नाम लिया, युत्सु वाले आ गए. रूपा प्रभु जी ने word युत्सु use किया था. Hare Krishna Prabhu ji. So these were the only people who were left. And how many people were assembled there? There's 64 crore people were assembled. So you can just imagine. So Ritepi is so appropriate word here. Just accept you. Everyone will be destroyed. Na bhavishyanti sarve yevasita prati anekeshu yodha. So all the yodhas from this side or the other side will be slain on the war field. So 1133, this verse is very important. Maybe someone else can do it. This is being referenced many places. Mahasu Prabhu or Vijay Mataji, if you like to do that.
Sorry, Prabhu, we are driving back to work.
Okay,
So sorry,
no.
I meant to home. Sorry.
No problem. All good, Prabhuji.
I can.
Yes, Prabhuji, Rupam Prabhu.
Before that, I can't see your screen. Is it just me or?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Krishna, Rupam Prabhu, probably it's just you. I mean, I can see it.
So we can see too.
Yeah, I think everyone can. It might be hidden, Prabhu. Try your window menu. It'll be there.
Okay, I'll fix it. Okay. So 1133. I'll start with translation. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyasachi, can be put an instrument in the fight. So basically, few things I recall here is one thing is we discussed about the word tasmat, which is therefore, which is also a sign of determination. Krishna has also used this word in chapter 2. Tasmat uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nischaya. So
That's
it's
chapter 4, last
chapter
verse.
4. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's all right. In chapter 8 as well. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaryuddhacha. So that's also used. 8.7, I guess.
Okay. So Krishna is ultimately asking Arjuna to get up and fight. He's also mentioning the fact that they're already slain, they're already killed. So all Arjun has to do is to fight and take the glory.
Prabhu, maybe we can take some Sanskrit words here because it's a good words.
Okay. So Jitwa, another word, Prabhu, which we
So
discussed.
maybe we can start from the first line, Prabhuji. You have done the first one, obviously. Yasho labhasva.
So Yasho is fame, Yasha,
Yes.
and Labhasya is gain. So Krishna is saying, gain. You gain the glory, you gain the fame of killing or winning the war.
Yeah.
Although I've done everything, I've already killed them entirely. It's just you get up, fight, and take the glory. Then Mayavate.
Maybe the second line, Prabhuji. Jitva shatrun.
Jitva is true to win over your enemy. Jitva Shatrun. Shatrun is Shatru. Me. Bhungsva Rajyam. Bhungsva is to
Bhogna.
Bhogna, to enjoy,
To enjoy.
and Rajyam is the kingdom. So relish. Krishna is saying you can relish a prosperous kingdom after winning them. Maivate, Krishna is saying in the third line, Maivate, Krishna is referring to is that I've already killed them. One of the important word I think is the nimitta, and there Krishna is referring the fact that you become my instrument in doing this service. And one of the things which you mentioned last time is Krishna. This is also one of the things which Krishna was saying, that even if you don't do it, they will be killed in one way or the other. So I'm going to kill them at the end of the day. So you better take up this service. You become my instrument and do this, kill them. Now, something for us to understand here is, if I recall correctly, you were saying that Vishnu doesn't need us to fill the gap. He doesn't need, there is no shortage of individuals or laborers. It's for our sake. It's because Krishna loves us. He wants us to become nimitta in his Leela. So he wants us to take part and become an instrument.
Just on that one, we can give a very simple example. A teacher or a father or a mother, ask a boy, Beta, what is 2 plus 2? I can't judge what is 2 plus 2. And Beta says, Mama, you don't know even 2 plus 2, it's 4. Oh, really? Ramesh, you are so good boy, huh? So Mama is giving glories to the little boy. Not that Mama doesn't know. Mama need help in 2 plus 2. But Ramesh feels very proud. Yes, I'm so intelligent. I'm helping Mama. Huh? So similarly, we can say God doesn't need us, but God makes so many services so that we can feel important and feel attracted through those services towards the God. Yes, Prabhu, please continue.
Yeah. The other thing we discussed about was the God is unlimited and Krishna is unlimited. And what Krishna can make us do is way more than what we can do for ourselves. So it's good that we become instrument at the hands of Krishna and do our service. One of the other examples I recall is Prabhupada also mentioned that he never expected that ISKCON movement will flourish to such a great extent. It's just that he started and he was helped all the way by Krishna.
Yeah, because he acted as a perfect instrument in the hands of Krishna. He said, I did not add anything, I did not delete anything. I presented the knowledge as it is. And that's why it became so successful. So that's another message for us as well. Sometimes we try to put here and there. So if we just present the knowledge as it is, we just repeat the words of spiritual master or acharyas, it will be passed as a good message in the ears of audience. So if we can do that, we can also achieve great successes as an instrument by Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Lastly, Prabhu, we also discussed that the devotees should not be lazy. They should constantly endeavor. And the example is, of course, Arjuna. That Arjuna became Sabyasachi. I don't know if it's this shloka or the other one.
This one.
Yeah, which is the ambidextrous nature of Arjuna, that he could shoot arrows with same precision accuracy with right hand, same with the left hand. And he reached to that point through practice, through constant practice. So that's a learning for us, for all our devotees, that we should also practice, we should also endeavor. And then, of course, we will be guided by Prabhupada and Krishna.
Yeah. So it says any skill achieved, material skill, I mean, achieved is not wasted in Krishna consciousness ever. Arjun was a military fighter, Prabhupada said, and his military skills was used to serve Krishna. So if you have another skill in IT skills, cooking skills, singing skill, dressing skill, whatever skills you may have, everything can be utilized in the service of Krishna, because Krishna always appreciates his devotees' service. And also it says the first word in the fourth line says Nimitta Matra. You become an instrument, and immediately Krishna acknowledges the unique skill which Arjun has. So Krishna is not sort of putting Arjun down, rather he's appreciating Arjuna. Oh wow, actually you're very skillful. You're Sabyasachi. And as Rupam Prabhuji is saying that skill was achieved through hard practice. It wasn't like, oh, Krishna touched his head and he became ambidextrous. No, he worked very hard. It says once Arjun arrived late to his camp where he was sleeping when he was in Dronacharya's camp. So every boy left, by Suryasta, by the sunset, but Arjun was still practicing till it became very dark. He was very hungry, so he arrived in the camp. So he was looking for some prasadam. So finally he got the prasadam, little prasadam was left. And while he was eating the prasad, the lamp was blown away by the wind, but Arjun could still eat. So, when you're putting the mouth, dal chawal in the mouth, it still goes on, light goes, it doesn't matter. So when Arjun was putting the prasadam in his mouth, he said, oh, when light was there, I was able to eat. When light is not there, I'm able to eat. So that means if light is there, I'm able to shoot. Light is not there, I should be able to shoot. And he immediately finished his prasadam quickly. He went back for practice. And he started practicing in the night. So not only Arjun could shoot from two hands, he could also shoot with the same precision in the night as well. And again, hard work was put behind the scenes. So devotees are also very hard working. And whatever we achieve, we put in the service of Krishna. So nothing is wasted. Now, one more commentary, which I think Sakhi Radhika Mataji was discussing last week. Krishna saying Sabyasachi to Arjun is also a sarcastic comment. So you can put it other way, huh? So Nimitta Matram to Sabyasachi or Sabyasachi to Nimitta Matram. So basically, you think you're a Sabyasachi, you're very expert in archery, but actually, you know what? You're just a Nimitta. So sometime, our spiritual master or senior devotees can humble us, because we may think, actually, I'm very important in our community. I'm very intelligent. I have so many skills, and you guys are using my skill, and that's how you're getting success. So Krishna makes Arjun little humble. He said, actually, you're just a nimitta. You're Sabyasachi. I agree that. But even after you being Sabyasachi, actually, you're just a nimitta. I have already killed them. So it's not our skill is going to teach people. It's our humility which will teach people. Through humility, we become perfect via media in the hands of spiritual master and Krishna. And then through their potency, the preaching will happen, or any success in the service will come upon by the mercy of spiritual master and Krishna, not our personal skills, which we are using obviously in Krishna's service. So we should never become any slightest proud of any success in any field, because it's Krishna who is behind all the things. Prabhupada says, now I'm speaking, I can stop speaking any moment, because Krishna may withdraw the power of speech. It's possible. Huh? Many people sleep and they don't get up early in the morning, although we would love to, because in the night, what happened? Their heart stopped beating, for example. Their brain stopped working. So many things can happen, as Krishna is the controller. And that's how we can become more humble and thank Krishna every morning when we get up. Thank you, Krishna, for still, making me able to get up from my bed and do my normal day-to-day activity. Many people get up, they forget. They get up next day and then, okay, who I am, who are you? Other house members, they cannot remember. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So Krishna gives the memory. Oh, you are so and so. You have to go to work. This is your children. This is your parents. This is your brother. So it's a great mercy of Krishna. So every moment, if you think, it's a mercy of Krishna. We are able to stand today. It's a mercy of Krishna. We are able to sit today, mercy of Krishna, because many people are not able to sit. So Mayye Vaite Nihita Puram. Krishna has done everything. Now, is it like a match fixing? Krishna has fixed the match with Arjun. So Arjun, because you have given me, 1 kilo of Diwali sweets, and I loved them so much. So match fixing, in India or other parts of the world, I've heard, I don't know how it works, but players are paid to overperform or underperform, or perform in a certain way, I should rather say, huh? So you should get bowled in third ball or fourth ball, whatever, and there's a lot of gambling happening. Is it like that, match fixing? Krishna is doing a match fix here. Okay,
No,
I will make you win because something. Is it like that? Any
no,
comments?
Prabhu. It's empowerment. He just
It's,
wants to appreciate, give credit to his devotees. So
yes.
he does that. Prabhu, in the previous point that you raised, I was also thinking of one shloka from chapter 2,
Yes.
where Krishna says, Pradnyavadamsha bhasashre. So he was again chastising Arjuna. Oh,
Yes.
you are such a Pradnyavadan, you're
Yes.
such a scholarly person, but yet
Mm.
you're talking in such a foolish way. So
Yes.
probably this can relate to the second
Yes.
example that you gave about
Yeah. So
Sabyasachi.
sometimes Krishna is little teasing his boy. Huh? Sometimes parents also does that. Huh? The boy getting pride, mother will say, no, beta, you don't know so much. So yeah, sometimes it's needed. Prabhupada said to his disciples many times, don't mind, sometime I chastise you because that's my duty. Huh? Prabhupada was very, very careful, and he was always, sometimes, he will get a little disturbed, but later he will say, oh, I'm an old man, I may get angry, please don't mind. Bhakti Charu Maharaj once was telling one pastime. I saw Charu Mata, yes, I remember Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Maharaj was very young that time, and he was personal servant of Prabhupada. And Prabhupada once said, please give me some orange juice. So Bhakti Charu Maharaj went to the kitchen, but there was no oranges there. So Maharaj himself, or he sent someone to bring the oranges. And obviously going to market, buying the oranges, coming back, making juice will take time. And Prabhupada, maybe after 5 minutes, something was ringing the bell. And Maharaj did not respond because there was no juice ready. Prabhupada, after 5 minutes, again rang the bell. Maharaj is still not responding. And then Prabhupada became a little upset. And he said, where is my juice? Bhakti Charu Maharaj came in the room and he said, Srila Prabhupada, sorry, we're just making it. He did not explain what's happening behind the scene. And Prabhupada said, don't bring it anymore. I don't want it. Finally, the juice came, say, after 25 minutes or 30 minutes, and Bhakti Charu Maharaj took the glass of juice to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, take it back. I don't want it. Huh? You are useless. Something like that, Prabhupada said. And then Bhakti Charu Maharaj very humbly said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you may chastise me like anything, but please take the juice. Your body needs it. So Maharaj humbly begging to Srila Prabhupada, please take the juice. You can chastise me. That's not a problem. Huh? And then Prabhupada sort of cooled down a little bit and he said, I'm an old man, please don't mind. Huh? Sometimes I get upset. And Maharaj said, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, no Prabhupada, you can chastise me left, right, center because I'm like that. And later Maharaj said very humbly, he did not say earlier, if we were there, we'll straight away say, Guru Maharaj, there is no orange. Finish. But Bhakti Charu Maharaj made sure immediately someone went to the market and got the juice. Got the oranges, he made the juice, presented to Prabhupada, although Prabhupada was literally saying, take this juice out, go back in the kitchen. But Maharaj said, no, Prabhupada, please chastise me, but please take the juice because your body needs the juice. So this is how the mercy flows. Sometimes, we get chastised, even the slightest one, and we get so upset because so much pride in there, so much pride. How can you correct me? in a nice way, devotees are trying to correct, not because they are proud or they want to put you down. They're just correcting you so that you can serve Krishna better. And they know our faults. But we should not think, I am the one who's going to correct everyone. No, no. I mean to say, we should have a mood, this devotee is trying to correct me for my benefit. But I have no right to correct others. We don't have right. We are not devotees, or we have not been given that seva. Even if that seva is given, you're a temple chief or temple commander or a team lead, you should be very, very careful, very, very careful, because if you offend a Vaishnava, it says in Krishna consciousness, the mortality rate is 100%. Mortality rate here means your Krishna consciousness can go away in 1 second. Prabhupada says this Krishna consciousness is bhakti, is two-edged sword. It can kill Maya or it can kill you as well. You're killing Maya with the sword of knowledge, but this is two-edged sword. It can kill you as well. You can chop off your head. How? By Vaishnava Aparadha. So when we have to deal with others, we should be very, very, very careful. We cannot chastise. We can only humbly request. Gauranga Prabhu says in the class, in many temples, temple president is the only resident. He's doing all the sevas because he can't instruct anyone. He can only beg. Please, Prabhu, come and help us. So yeah, but when others are chastising us, we may see there may be some truth in it. And if there is no truth, you can just ignore it. There's no need to fight back or defend back. At least most of the time, if not all the time. Sometimes it may be needed, but most of the time we can just take it. It's for my correction, it's for my improvement. And if there is a truth in it, I should accept it and correct myself. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj gave a very beautiful example. He said, if I have a neighbor which washes my clothes for free, why should I complain? And disciples could not understand what Maharaj was saying. He said, my neighbor is my critiques. My critiques are my neighbor, and they are washing me, like my faults, for free. Everyone comes and chastises you. Oh, you're like that, you're like that, you're like that. He's saying, if there is some truth in it, take it. And start from there. Not that he is wrong, start from there. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I have done a mistake. And for free, they will be criticizing you, and then you can correct yourself. Even if you haven't done it, you'll be very careful in future that you don't do it, because you know there's a critique sitting behind you, watching over you. So that's one way we can improve ourselves and keep ourselves humble while we are performing our seva. Okay, thank you. Let's move forward to 34. Oh, Rupam Prabhuji, yes.
Sorry, Ru.
Yes.
Yes, Ru, on that note, Ru, we often see during services, especially security services, something which I would like to take an example of.
Live
It's
example, huh?
Yes, Ru. Yeah. And some of us were part of that service as well. It's often seen that you in order to maintain the crowd movement and have a discipline, you have to be a bit more affirmative. You have to be a bit more straightforward in areas like this, which may hurt, and it has definitely has hurt a lot of people, especially if they don't get a chance to stand. I'm talking about events like Janmashtami, where we have
I'm hearing that already.
between 3,000 to 12,000 people coming in. We can't have everyone sitting inside the temple. How do you strike a balance in scenarios like these, and where do you stop yourself, or where do you explain? How do you explain people?
So
I'm talking majorly from devotees' point of view.
I
Non-devotees,
totally understand, Prabhu. Non-devotees always listen. It's the devotee who don't listen. Anyway, so first thing first, Prabhu, we are servants. That's the first thing we have to sort of engrave that on our forehead. We are servants. We are not masters. First thing, we are here doing a seva. So if someone is not listening to his servant, will servant mind? That's the first thing. So we should not ever take this personally, that this devotee is not listening, so I have a right to tell him or her to do what I want him or her to do. Maybe that's a seva. So first thing first, we are servants. So when we start from that sort of designation, first you will not get hurt, because many times what happens, these servants get hurt personally and they take it personally and they say, no, now I have saved, you have to move. So first thing first, we are servants. We are here performing a seva for the pleasure of the Lord. We are not the controllers. We are not the masters. So start from there. Second thing, humility does not mean you cannot be firm. So if your child, you are being humble to your child, and child is breaking all the house apart. So humility does not mean you cannot be firm. You can definitely be firm, and you should be firm. If you're not firm, how are you going to perform your seva? But with the mindset of, I am the servant of this person. They are Gopinath guest. They have come all the way from wherever, from 40-50 kilometers. And what they're trying to do, they're trying to see Krishna, right? Listen kirtan. They're not doing any sinful activity, right? So who are we to sort of push them or tell them in a harsh way? So first thing, we are servants. Second thing, we can definitely be firm, but in a very polite way we can be firm and still perform our seva. And even if some things are here and there, we should never take it personally. Many times it happens, I have seen, Prabhu, the servants take those criticism on their own ego. And they think, I'm the master of this seva. No, we are not the master of the seva. We are merely servant. Even if we are not there, it will carry on. It will carry on. So we should definitely perform our responsibility very, very well, as much as possible. But be very, very sure we are firm. We are not to lose as well. Whoever, whenever, wherever. So our existence has no matter. Not like that. We have to perform the responsibility, but in a way where we are serving the Lord and his devotees who are coming to see the Lord. So if we have that mood and we are firm, that we know our boundaries, we are firm, things move. And even if someone doesn't move for 5 minutes, it's not the end of the world. So we have that mood many times, if not all the times, the services can be performed in a very devotional way. That's my experience as well. Sometimes some exceptions are there. Then you may have to approach to your team leader. This person is not listening, is interrupting the crowd. He's been there for last half an hour. Then maybe someone else can help you. One more example I'll give here. When demigods went to Brahmaji for help from Ravana, for example, Brahmaji is written in Srimad Bhagavatam, very clearly told demigods, I am not able to help you. So many times when we take the seva, we think now I can do anything. No. We can do up to a certain extent, and we should not hesitate to openly accept our limitations. Many times, because of ego, I'm the team lead here, right? So I have to be able to do everything. No, that's fine. I have my limits. Brahmaji said, I cannot help you in this case. Let's go to my master. Now, it's very hard to say honestly, when 33 demigods coming to you, bowing down to you, Brahmaji, please help, please help. Imagine yourself in the situation of Brahmaji. You'd be like, Arey, I am the creator of this whole world, and I'm saying no. So the no doesn't come out. No, we can say no. I have my limitation. Many times a question is asked in the class. You can say, Prabhuji, I don't know the answer. That's fine. Actually, real devotee will appreciate you more rather than you make up an answer. No, I don't know. My knowledge is limited. I can share what I know. Similarly, in our services as well, you can say, Prabhuji, after this I cannot help. And it actually makes you a better devotee rather than trying to. And I've seen devotees fighting, Prabhu, fighting, not only fighting, throwing things at each other. I've seen from my eyes. And you know what? They're throwing chairs at each other. I'm not talking about spoons and chairs, a physical big chair. So a lot of things has been seen, and it's not the best representation of Prabhupada, especially in front of guests. So even if that servant has to accept the defeat, accept it, it's fine. This person is not listening, right? That's all right. Not the end of the world. Yeah, unless a person is harming the temple of the devotees, then you have to stand up. Then you have to stand up. Arjuna also stood up. So I'm not talking about those extreme situations, but in a normal world, 95% people are actually very cooperative. And if some are not, just say Hare Krishna. I wish I had that desire to see Krishna as you have. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was taking darshan from Garuna Stamba, this old lady gets up on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's shoulder. He's a sannyasi. He doesn't even listen the word woman. And this woman is practically riding on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Govinda, Are, Maya, what are you doing? You're riding on a sannyasi and you're riding on his shoulder. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, Govinda, don't say anything. I wish I had the same curiosity to see Jagannath what this old lady has. I don't have that much curiosity to see Jagannath. This old lady has so much curiosity, so much enthusiasm, so much desire, eagerness to see Jagannath. I wish I had that. So think about those situations. Maybe this devotee is very, very eager to see the Radha Gopinath's Abhishek. Huh? So anyway, there are many, many positives as well. Many, many positives. In some exceptions, we can be firm and we can take help. And then at the end of the day, they are the guest of Lord. Huh? And we cannot offend the guest. We just cannot offend the guest. Okay. Okay, let's move forward. 11:34. Who, Ujjwala Mataji, would you like to do?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I'll read the translation. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. So here, Kal Rupa is continuing to explain further, and he's assuring Arjuna that do not worry. All the great warriors, like he names them, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, and Karna, they have already been destroyed by me. So this is an assurance from Krishna to Arjuna. And he's again reiterating the same point that you should kill them and don't be disturbed. So basically act nimitta matram. So be the instrument and simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in the battle. So it's kind of already giving the result to him. So he's saying that you just have to fight, and your enemies will be killed. And you had mentioned last time that Jayadratha actually was not a great warrior, but his name is mentioned because he was going to play a very important role in Mahabharata.
Yeah.
So that's why Kala Rupa is mentioning his name. Yeah, that's what I have, Prabhu.
Yep. Just one line we can say from here as Mataji also in Maya Hatastam. So I have killed them. One thing which I really like, Ma Vyathishta, don't get disturbed. So now what Krishna is saying to Arjun, go and fight and kill. But he's saying Ma Vyathishta, huh? Don't get disturbed. So while doing our duty, as Rupam Prabhu was asking, Krishna is saying Ma Vyathishta, don't get disturbed. Huh? So like killing and fighting, Prabhu, when you are dealing with people in Janmashtami, for example, you're still dealing. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, come here, come there, go there, whatever. Here what Krishna is saying, kill them. But while killing them, Ma Vyathishta, Ma Vyathishta. So this should be our mood while we are performing our seva. What to speak of, speaking with people, while even if we have to kill people, only under the command of Krishna, then also Ma Vyathishta. So we should never be disturbed in if we are disturbed, it says 100% guarantee you have offended someone, 100%. So whenever we do a devotional service, we get disturbed in our heart. That means we have actually offended someone. Devotional service is very joyfully performed. It brings joy. Yayatma suprasidati, always. But if it doesn't bring joy, that means we have not performed devotional service correctly. So, Ma Vyathishta, don't get disturbed. Even if a service is such that you have to physically kill someone, and including your teacher, your grandfather, Ma Vyathishta, don't get disturbed. I know it's a very, very high thing, easy to say, but at least we can set up a bar that this is how our mood should be in performing my seva. Then sometimes we'll overcome our anarthas. Ma Vyathishta. Okay, I'll not do these verses. By Sanjay's sort of a description again. Let's move forward. Now Arjun is offering his obeisances. So basically this is Arjuna's section again, around 12 verses, I guess, 36 to 45. And Arjun is paying obeisances to Krishna and glorifying Krishna and then asking for apology. So let's move to the section of apology. Namaste, Namo Namaste, that's all Namaskar, obeisances of Arjuna. Namaha, again, Namaskar of Arjuna. 11, 41, 42. This we can do very quickly. Who hasn't done, if you like to do? Priya Mataji, would you like to do? Hare Krishna. Sure. Mohit Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhu, I was not here.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Any one of you.
Just need the translation, Prabhu.
Yes, please.
Okay, Prabhu, I'm just open on my screen because I can't read the translation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better now. Translation. Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times. What's the, sorry, Prabhu, my screen disappeared. Give me a second, please. Jesting as with your legs. Oh, was it J or what? Because
I think jesting and resting should be same.
jesting. Okay, jesting
It
as
says
with your
jesting.
legs.
You're right, Prabhu. It says
Okay,
jesting in
not
the
one because
translation.
Hala I said I missed the okay.
No, you're right.
Jesting as with your legs, lay on the same bed, or set or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. Oh, infallible one, please excuse me for all these offenses. Thank you, Prabhu. Here, it is disappear. You want to explain that or just a
Yes,
translation?
please. Yes, Prabhu. So we're just revising some key verses.
Basically, Prabhu, I can say from the translation that Arjuna is
Pick up,
basically.
Mohit Prabhuji, if you can pick up some Sanskrit words, that will be nice.
Okay, Prabhu. Saketi Matva Prasavaham Yad Yuktam. So Saketi basically Krishna is referring Krishna as a Sakha, as a friend. Matva is thinking, Pravasaham presumptuously.
Proudly.
He just, what's that, Prabhu?
Proudly.
Proudly.
So I said to you proudly. So Arjun is saying basically to Krishna in little bit of pride.
Yes. Basically about glowing, like saying his name, hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Saketi. Ajanata Mahimanam Tavedam, which is
Ajanata,
without
not
Ajanata
knowing.
without unknowingly, he just saying these words to Krishna, and he's saying in maybe in front of others, or like while he's sitting, while he's eating, and different activities while they're saying. So he's saying he has said this to Krishna unknowingly and proudly in front of others, and in different while doing different activities.
So what are the two reasons Arjun gives? We can look at the fourth line.
Maya Pramada Pranena Vapi, which is out of his foolishness and out of his love, basically.
Thank you. So this is very important. So whenever we make a mistake, it can only be two possibilities. Either it's sort of madness, pramad, or pranay. Pranay means love. And Arjun will give further explanation to this two words in future verses. So it's very important. He's being very humble and sort of accepting it. Either I was mad, main pagal tha, or I had love for you. So yes, Mohit Prabhuji.
Yet chas for Nityam asat krotasi.
Hasartham, hasna, mazak karna.
Hasartham.
So asat, that was asat. So what Arjun is considering, that mazak, that joke as asat. That was wrong. That was wrong. Yeah. I did very, very bad. And when did he do mazak? When did he do hasa? Vihar.
Having a like a prasadam, and then having a prasadam playing, relaxing, you know, shaya when relaxing.
Yep. Bhojaneshu, while taking prasadam.
While eating together, yeah, or
playing,
alone.
Like lying together, sleeping together, or eating together. Yeah. So what's the final line saying? Tad shamme. So now asking for forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
So please forgive me. Why? Because I have done asat katosi. You are so big, you are so great, and I have called you as Yadav, Sakha, Krishna. Please forgive me. So Arjun is asking apology in 41, 42, as well as 43 and 44. There are 4 verses for apology of Arjuna. Okay. And apramayam means many, many times. I have not done once, I have done it many, many times. Immeasurable means many times I have done this. Thank you, Mohit Prabhu. The 43, did we do this last week? I can't remember. So that we did that? Okay, let's do a quick revision here. Priya Mataji, would you like to do 43?
Prabhuji, I wasn't here last time.
Okay, no worries, no worries. Rasanan Prabhuji, would you like to?
Sorry, Prabhu. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes,
you know, you mentioned about the two moods.
Yes.
You said about Dwarka Parkar and
Yes.
Raja Parkar.
Thank you, Mataji, for reminding that. Yes.
So I am not very clear about this word Parkar. What is it?
Parikar. Parikar means associate. Parikar.
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 Acha.
Parikar
Is it
means
a Hindi
associate.
word or English word?
It's a Sanskrit word.
Sanskrit word. Okay.
Yes. Parikar means associate. Parshad. In Hindi or Sanskrit, we call it Parshad. Parikar. So Parikar means associates of Lord. So some associates have Dwarka mood, some associates have Braja mood. So Braja mood never asks for forgiveness, not because of pride, just because they love Krishna so much, they never identify Krishna as Supreme Person. They always identify Krishna as their son or their friend or their lover. So they never see Krishna as God, although they know it's not there for goodfulness. Sometimes we also don't see God as God because of our pride. In the world, the world is full of atheists, for example. They say, I don't need God. Anyway, so they're not seeing God as God is not due to forgetfulness, not due to ignorance, just because of their love. Mother Yashoda always think Krishna is just a little boy. And someone says, Krishna says himself to Mother Yashoda, Maya, in the last birth, I was Narsingadev. I was Vamandev. And Maya starts laughing. Narsingadev, you, acha, very nice. Huh? He says, when Billy does meow, you come inside my pallu. You get so scared of a Billy, of a cat, and you were Narsingadev, very nice. And you were Vamandev. Oh, really? You were Vamandev. You cannot even step outside the room door. Huh? Dahlij in Hindi, they call it. You cannot even cross the Dahlij. And you became Vamandev. Very nice. Very nice. Maya, I killed Ravan. Acha. You're even scared of a loud noise. Huh? And you killed Ravan. Very, very nice. So Maya is laughing at Krishna. Although Krishna is telling the truth, Maya is laughing at Krishna. Even if Maya gets shown this Brahmanda Rupa, Maya is still thinking, I have issue, not my boy. Huh? But Arjun, by seeing the Brahmanda Rupa, Vishwarupa, he's scared and asking for forgiveness. This is the difference between Braja Parikar and Dwarka Parikar. So Arjun has this mood of Dwarka. So sometimes they consider Krishna as friend. Sometimes they consider Krishna as God. So it says, in Dwarka, they also consider Krishna as their friend. It's called Gaurav Sakhya. Gaurav Sakhya means the Sakhya always stays as Sakhya. It never converts into a Dasya. But in Dwarka Parkar, what happens? Sakhya gets downgraded to Dasya. Now Arjun is feeling a Dasya here instead of Sakhya. So he does not, is able to step to Gaurav Sakhya. Okay. So that's the difference between Dwarka Parkar and Braja Parikar. Kunti Maharani also is considered a Dwarka Parkar. Because Kunti Maharani, when she is praying to Krishna, Namasche Purusam Tadhyam, Ishvara Prakte Param, she identifies Krishna as Adi Purush, Adi Ishvara, 1:8:18. So she is doing Namasya, she is doing Namaskar. Now, Bua is not supposed to do Namaskar. Mother Yashoda never does Namaskar. Nanda Maharaj never does Namaskar. But Kunti is doing Namaskar. Although Kunti has taken, Krishna was touching the feet of Kunti his whole life, actually, his whole life. So Kunti mood changes. Okay. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go to the next one. So as we said, Arjun is putting two conditions here, either pramad or pranay, either out of madness or out of love. So let's see what Arjun is saying next, based on those two reasonings. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Translation of 1143. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable powers? So this verse is basically, it's coming in the sequence of Arjuna's prayer. It's a glorification of Krishna by Arjuna. So here, starting with Krishna, Arjuna is addressing Krishna as the father, Vidasi. Vidasi of what? Of the Chara and Acharas, all moving and non-moving items in this cosmic manifestation. And next is talking about how he is worshipable. like Pujayas, like Guru Garyan. So he's saying like the spiritual master, the glorification of the spiritual master, like how it should be worshipable. And then he's trying to equate that there is no one equal to him. So he is greater than all the greatest, like Abhaya Adikaya. So he is the greater. And
Tvatsam, sam is equal.
Equal to you.
Yeah. So na tvatsam, no equal.
Yeah,
Then what
no,
to speak
no
of
one
greater?
is equal to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is the greater.
Apratima prabhava. So pratima is?
Apratima. Pratima is comparison.
Comparison, yes. Apratima, no comparison.
Pratima
So
is immeasurable, not comparable at all. So
yeah.
no one can be compared with him. Within
Prabhav is power or influence.
Yeah. Even in the three worlds, lower three worlds. 3.3 systems.
Now, Acharyas have actually categorized these 4 verses, 41 to 44, as verses of apology. So it's actually apologizing. So these are not glorificatory verses. Glorification is actually says 36, 37, 38 are the glorification verses. The next 2 verses are obeisances verses, 39 and 40. And these 4 verses are apology verses. And the final 2 verses in Arjuna's this section will be request verses. So this is still under apology. So it's just saying the same mood. It's basically saying, oh, Krishna, you are so great, please forgive. Because when you're asking forgiveness, you have to sort of say to that person that you are great. And obviously here Arjun is presenting a fact. Okay, last one in this series of Arjuna asking for apology. So this is, I think, where we start. So let's read it. Who wants to do that? Sundar Prabhu, you want to do?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll do it. Krishna. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam.
Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam.
Prasadaye tvam ahamesha medyam.
Prasadaye tvam ahamisha medyam.
Piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyo.
Piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyo.
Priya priyarhasi deva sodhum.
Priyaha priyayarhasi deva sodhum.
Translation: You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend of the friend, the impertinence of a friend, or a husband, familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Tasmat, again, similar word here is being used. Therefore. So therefore, why therefore? Because he just said, Pitasi lokasya characharasya. Huh? You are the father. Huh? You are the Pita or the master of all the moving and non-moving. So therefore, pranamya, I'm doing pranam to you. How I'm doing pranam to you? Pranidhaya, I'm laying down. Dandavat pranam. Huh? Sometimes in India, you know, the modern boys, when they have to touch the feet, what do? From the left hand, they just little bend themselves. They don't touch the feet. And that oh, ho gaya. It's all right. Huh? That's not a pranam. Huh? Here, pranidhaya. Pranidhaya means I'm laying my body, full dandavat pranam on the floor. Kayam. Kayam means kaya, body. Huh? So I'm lying down my body in front of you. I'm doing pranam to you. Prasadaye, please be pleased upon me. Huh? Please be pleased, because I have done asat kratosi. If you remember from verse 42. So I have done asat kratosi. I've realized it. So again, apologetic verses. So I'm doing pranam to you. Prasadaye. So aham isha medium. You are worshipable. You are my master. I'm doing pranam to you. Please be pleased upon me. Huh? And then Arjun gives 3 examples how in a relation, even if someone has done wrong, the things can be forgiven. What are the 3 examples? Piteva putrasya. So when a putra, when a son or a child does a mistake, does father become very angry at the child? If you know child is innocent, 3-year, 4-year child does a mistake, what do? Oh, beta, you shouldn't have done it. Huh? That's all we can say. Piteva putrasya. So when a son does a wrong thing, Pita forgives the son. Second example, sakheva sakhyuhu. So in between 2 friends, sometime a friend may make a mistake, another friend, what he's going to do? Katti. When they are small babies, they do katti. In India, we used to call it katti. I'm not sure what do you call it in Tamil, Mataji? In Hindi, we call it katti. Huh? We'll just say like that. Huh? Tam. Okay. Something similar.
Yeah.
But we understand what we are saying. Huh? And then after 10 minutes, you'll see same boy or girl, they are playing together. Huh? 5 minutes before, they are katti, and then they're playing together. So it happens in the friends. Huh? You make a mistake, another person may say, oh, why did you do this and that? But it happens. Sometimes friend tease, sometimes friend makes some jokes, but it's all right. It's a relation. Huh? And priya, priyaya, or hasi. Sometimes among husband and wife, some things may go wrong by husband or by wife, but the other person does not take it so seriously because they understand there's a good intention behind these words or behind the action. They're not necessarily seeing the action, they see the intention. Why? Because there's a trust. Whenever there is a trust, it says that relationship is based on trust, then the disagreements doesn't survive much. But when there is no trust, whether it's husband, wife, or friend, or a father and son, when there is no trust, then even if you have good intentions, you are doing good actions, you'll still be blamed, isn't it? I knew, huh? I knew. You must be thinking like that, huh? You want to kill me, you want to harm me, this and that. But you say, Arey Baba, I haven't said anything like that, huh? Because the trust isn't there. And says it's like walking in a landmine where the bombs are there. No matter where you put the leg, the bomb will explode. No matter what you do, what you say, or how good your intentions are, because the trust isn't there. And the other party just thinks, this person is trying to harm me or cheat me or put me down. So but when the trust is there, no matter what words you use, and we gave the example of when Gopi is calling Krishna as Kala, black. You are black outside as well as inside. Huh? Gopis call Krishna, and Krishna says in Hindi, Lal Govind Prabhu, Gopiyon ki gali Ved stuti se zyada achhi lagti hai. Huh? The gali or calling names to Krishna by gopis, Krishna loves them more than the Ved stuti. Huh? So someone is chanting Govindam Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. That's good. But Krishna doesn't like that Govindam Adi Purusham so much as when gopis say, you debauchee, you cheater, you thief, you black person. Huh? Krishna just loves it. Huh? Krishna loves it. So why? Because there's a relationship there. And when there's a relationship, trust in the relationship, then the words or the actions doesn't matter. Because we know this person is a well-wisher. Prabhupada always wrote at the end of the letter, you're ever well-wisher. I was just talking, Prabhupada sometimes chastised his disciples, but he was always the well-wisher of his disciples. So three relationships. So what basically Arjuna is trying to say, as in these three relationships, even if someone does a mistake, other person forgives. So you also please forgive me because I am your Sakha and I'm a Priya. Priya means I love you. I love you from my heart. So even if I had made a mistake, which wasn't a mistake, Arjuna never did a mistake, but he's thinking like that. Even if I made a mistake, in these relationships, mistakes are forgiven. So please forgive me, Krishna. So Arjuna is being very humble here and asking for forgiveness. And in these three relationships, what is the base of forgivingness? Love, right? So you remember in 42, the two reasons Arjuna gave, pramada or pranay. So now Arjuna basically is saying, actually, it wasn't pramad, it was pranay. It was out of love. So Krishna, because I love you, I may have made some mistakes towards you. Please forgive me, because in these relationships, things are forgiven. Okay. So very beautiful verse, and also teaches us how we should have trust in our relationship with others. When we have trust in friends, in family, in our community, then the relationships are very, very thick, very, very thick. Otherwise, what happens? There are different disagreements and different fights, and we are not productive. We are not productive. So we should have trust, because our trust is based on Krishna. We are not trying to take benefit from anyone. Krishna is the center of our life, and that way we can trust others, and we should become trustworthy of others. My Guru Maharaj said, and this trust means hard work. Trust means hard work. So trust will not just come out of a blue moon, right? When you are saying, he's my friend, or this devotee is my friend, that means you are giving that devotee something, something tangible, something which he or she can appreciate. Then he will have trust on you. Trust means hard work, service you give. Radhanath Maharaj always says, service means we give service in such a way which pleases other. Sometimes we also give service, but which pleases our ego. I should be glorified because I've done so much for temple, for kitchen, for finance, or for blah, blah, blah. No, service should be done in a way which is pleasing to the person whom you are serving. If this person likes Karela, you hate Karela, what would you cook? Karela. Because I'm serving this person, not me. Now you cannot say, Arey Prabhuji, you like Karela? Karela is a third quality vegetable. You should never eat Karela. But Prabhuji, I like Karela. But Prabhu, why don't you take Bhindi? Bhindi is good, Lauki is good. But Prabhuji, I like Karela. One time Akbar and Birbal went to a party, in their party. And there was a baigan ka sabji, eggplant sabji. So Akbar looked at the Birbal, he said, baigan ka sabji, eggplant sabji. I hate baigan. This is the worst sabji in the whole world. And Birbal said, yes, Maharaj, it is the worst sabji in the whole world. After 2 weeks or something, they went to another party, and there Akbar saw this eggplant sabji again. So Birbal thought, Akbar doesn't like it. But that time when Akbar saw this eggplant sabji, and he said, actually, eggplant is not bad, it's a good sabji, it's a good sabji. And Birbal said, yes, Maharaj, it's a very good sabji. And then Akbar said, Birbal, 2 weeks ago, you said eggplant is a third class sabji, and now you are saying it's a good sabji. And Birbal very humbly said to Akbar, he said, Maharaj, I am not eggplant Das, I am Akbar Das. I am the servant of Akbar. So whatever my master will say, I have to agree to it. So here we are all Krishna Das. So whatever Krishna says, sometime favorable, sometime not so favorable. Life will throw different challenges, but we are Krishna Das. That is Krishna's mercy when the favor, so-called favor, comes to us, and when not many favorable situations come to us. That is also Krishna's mercy. And we always say yes to Krishna. Yes, Krishna, the life is challenging. I don't like these things, but yes, Krishna, it's wonderful, wonderful. Why? Because we are not those situations, Das. We are not the servant of those situations. We are the servant of Krishna. And if Krishna, our master, whom we trust, who is the only one we trust, probably, then why we have complaints? One Mataji was giving a class very nicely. This Mataji said, in Hindi, I'll say in Hindi first. He said, if there are complaints, if you still have complaint, that means you don't have trust. So if shikayatein, agar shikayat hai, to shraddha nahi hai. Shraddha means faith. If you have complaint, that means you have no faith. So if you're complaining, Krishna, why are you sending all these unfavorable storms on me? That means you don't have shraddha. If you have shraddha, you have faith, then all those stones will also look like a flower. Prahlad was asked, when your father threw you in the pits of venomous snakes, did you not fear? He said, what do you mean by fear? My father lies on the biggest snake. So Vishnu is lying on the Ananta Shesh. He is the biggest snake. And these snakes are serving my father's bed. So why should I be worried about these snakes? Wow, amazing. When Prahlad was thrown on the top of the cliff, he was asked, Prahlad, did you not get fear? He said, what do you mean by fear? A cliff. Who is the cliff? Cliff is Bhumi Devi, right? Bhumi Devi is a Patni. She is a chaste wife of Krishna. And when I'm in the lap of my mother, father is Krishna, mother is Bhumi Devi, why should I fear? So Prahlad was not complaining. He was saying, I'm sleeping on my mother's lap when he was thrown on the top of the cliff. When he was thrown with the snakes, he was saying, I am with the servants of my master's servant, the biggest servant. Lakshman ji is the biggest servant. Ananta Shesh is the biggest, one of the biggest servants of Krishna. And Krishna lies on whole day on Ananta Shesh. He said, what do you mean by fear? They are just little ones. Ananta Shesh is the biggest one. So we should not be afraid of the situations when they are thrown upon us. And we should see Krishna's arrangement for me. And because we have faith in Krishna, we should have faith in Krishna, then we will start seeing the good in that situations and do the best. It's not you will be so-called successful or failure. Do the best. And when your intentions are good, even external failures doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Krishna knows your heart. You have done the best. You have been a sincere devotee in that situation. Now, finally, the consequences may be so-called success or failure. That is very irrelevant. That is irrelevant. People may call you a success or failure. That actually is very irrelevant. But Krishna should certify you. Yes, My devotee remained an integral devotee throughout the test. That's the success. That's the success. What world causes success or failure, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. So this relationship Krishna is teaching through this verse is beautiful. Okay, let's move forward.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, as the first line says, Pranamaya Pranithya.
Pranamya.
Did Arjun
Pranamya Pranidhaya. Yeah.
Pranidhaya? Did Arjun came out of his chariot and did Dandavat Pranam?
No, what we see in the pictures, Prabhuji, he's still sitting and he's doing pranam from the same place, because Arjun was asked by Krishna that I'll show you everything by sitting in one place. So Arjun did not actually leave the place. So the whole show is given when Arjun is sitting at the same place.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, next one, 45. Charu Mataji, would you like to do it?
Sorry, just one sec.
That's okay.
Adrishtapurvam rishitosmi drishtva
Adrashtapurvam hrishitosmi drashtva
bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me
bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me
tadeva me darshaya devarupam
tadeva me darshaya devarupam
prasida devesha jagan nivasa.
prasida devesa jagan nivasa.
Translation. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this verse, as I said earlier, this is the request verses 45 and 46. So Arjun is putting some request for Krishna here. He's speaking still with the Vishwarupa. Adrashtapuram, everyone understands? So this is never seen in the past, which Krishna said, and Arjun is sort of accepting, yes, what you have said is correct. This form never been seen before. Rishoti, Harshitosi. So Harshit means Harsh means it was actually gladdening me. Drashtva, after seeing, I was gladdened, but at the same time, I'll be honest here, bhayenacha. I have a fear as well. Huh? So Arjun was happy to see that form because he requested Krishna and Krishna shown him that form which was adrashtapurvam, but he's saying bhayenacha, pravyathitam, and how much bhaya I have? Pravyati, actually I'm very disturbed. So basically Arjun is very, very agitated, fearful in his heart. Some bhaya, sometimes you may have bhaya of mosquitoes. When you go to Mayapur, you may have bhaya. But when the mosquitoes are there and the terrorists with loaded guns are there, your bhaya will be different. So bhaya towards mosquitoes is very different than bhaya towards terrorists. So what Arjun is saying, pravyathitam, I'm very disturbed inside. Manome, in my mind, I'm actually very, very disturbed. So he's using two different emotions here. Hrishitosi, Hritishosmi, and pravyathitam. Tad eva me. So now you have shown me. Thank you so much. Now what you should do, my humble request to you, Tad eva me darshaya deva rupam. So please show me your deva rupa. So I requested you for the Vishwarupa, but now I'm requesting you to show me your deva rupa. Prasida. Prasida refers to, again, please be pleased upon me. Devesha, you are the controller of demigods, master of demigod. Jagan Nivasa, and you are the abode of the entire universe. Please show me your deva rupa. So through this, basically Arjun is saying, I'm not very comfortable with this form, although I have requested you to show you this form, and thank you for showing me. So you have agreed to show the form, you have shown me the form, but actually I'm in my mind, manome, I'm very pravyatita, I'm very disturbed. So please take away this form and show me your Devarupa. And look at the final verse by Arjun in this series. Which form does he refer by Devarupa? 1146. Jeb Dharma Prabhu, would you like to do?
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrahastam
Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam.
Ichchami Tvam Drashtumaham Tataiva
Ichchami tvam drashtumaham tathaiva.
Tenaiva Rupena Chaturbhujena
Tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena.
Sahasrabaho Bhava Vishwamurte.
Sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte.
Translation. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in the your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
Hare Krishna. So Arjuna is saying Kiritinam. Prabhupada writes as helmet or crown. Gadinam, Gada, club. Chakra, everyone knows chakra, and hastam, so hath mein pushpa. So which form Arjuna is requesting here? Vishnu form. Very, very clear. Yeah, with the description he can say it's not, the Vishnu word is not written, but it's very clear what form he wished to see. Prabhupada writes why Arjuna is requesting from Vishnurupa at this stage to show his Chaturbhuja form, because Arjuna wanted to prove to the whole world that Krishna is the origin of even Vishnu. And in future, if someone wants to say that he is God, then he has to show Vishwarupa, Kalarupa, as well as Chaturbhuja Rupa. So Arjuna is one by one asking Krishna to show all these forms so that no one can challenge ever the position of the Lord. Because you say, if you are the Lord, you should also be able to show me all these forms which Krishna showed me in the past. So Kiritinam, so Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, the four things are mentioned. Ichchami, that's my desire. Tvam Drashtum, so I want to see you in this form. Tenaiva Rupena Chaturbhujena. And how many arms you should have? It's not like put Gada and Pushpa in one hand. No, Chaturbhujen. Arjuna is very, very clear about it. So show me your four forms and show me your four ayudha, four things which you have in your hand as Vishnu. Sahasra Baho Bhav. And currently he's talking to whom? Vishwarupa, right? And how many arms he has? Sahasra Baho. He has many, many forms. Bhava Vishwamurte. You are Vishwamurti. So I long to see you in this particular form. So basically, Arjuna is requesting Krishna, take this form away. I'm very, very fearful. And now you please show me your Devrupa. And Devrupa, which is mentioned in 1145, explained in 1146, Devrupa means Vishnu form. So Arjuna is requesting to Krishna. So let's see. The camera zooms back with Sri Bhagwan and see what he responds to this request of Arjuna, which is made in 1145 and 1146. Okay, who wants to read that? I'll go back to the initial Vijay Gopi Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Maya Prasanena Tavarjunedam.
Maya Prasannena Tavarjunedam.
Rupam Param Dashchitam Atma Yoga.
Rupam Param Darshitam Atma Yogad.
Tejomayam Vishwam Anantamadyam.
Tejomayam Veshamananta Adyam.
Yame Tavat Anyena Na Drishta Purvam.
Yanme Tvadanyena Drashta Purvam.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you have ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Sri Bhagwan is saying, Maya Prasannena. So I showed you that form with love, with Prasanna. I was happy showing you that form. Tav Arjunedam. So hey Arjun, oh Arjun, my dear Arjun, I have shown you that form with Prasannata, with happiness. Rupam Param. And what was that Rupa? Param Rupa. That was not just a normal Rupa, it was Param Rupa, very transcendental Rupa. Darshitam. I shown you Atma Yoga because of my internal potency. I was able to show you that Param Rupa form, which was full of Tejom. It was very effulgent. Anantam, Vishwam Anantam Adyam. It was the primal form. Yanme Tvad Anyena Na Drashtapurvam. So again, third time it's been mentioned in this chapter. Na Drashtapurvam. It's never been seen before. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur sort of makes a commentary on this particular verse, and he says, through this verse, Krishna is teasing Arjuna. He's saying, hey Arjun, you only requested to show me that form which was Adrashtapurvam, which was never seen before, and I've shown you that form. Now why you want me to take this form away? So it's teasing Arjuna. Sometimes it happens again in the relationship. He's saying, I have shown you this form which is so rare, and now you're asking me to take it away. Like sometime I saw Adidev Prabhu earlier, So Adidev Prabhu, Papa, ye chahiye, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Papa said, no, beta, no, Papa, I want it. And when Papa gets it, Adidev said, Papa, you know what? I don't like it. Papa will say, beta, I got you all the way from North Sydney Temple, such a precious Mangala Arati sweet, and now you're saying, Papa, I don't want it. So similarly, Krishna is saying, beta, I have shown you, this is what you wanted, this is what you desired, I've got you, and now you're saying, take it away. So little tease Krishna is doing to Arjuna. That's what our acharyas explain in this particular verse. Now he explains the reality of this form. Rasanand Prabhuji, would you like to read?
Na Veda Yajna Adher Danayar.
Na Veda Yajna Dhyananair Dane.
Na Cha Kripaya Birna Tabo Birugraya.
Na Cha Kriya Bhirna Tapo Birugraya.
Evam Rupa Sakya Hamam Narloke.
Evam Rupa Shakya Aham Riloke.
Drashtam Tvad Anyena Kuru Paravira.
Drashtum Twadanyena Kuru Pravira.
Oh, best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifice, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So basically, again, Krishna is asking, Sundar Gopal Prabhu asking Adidev, are you sure you don't want it? Are you sure? So he's saying, Evam Rupa Shakya Aham Niloke, what I have just shown you, Kuru Pravira, you are one of the best warriors amongst all the Kurus. Drashtum Tvad Anyena Kuru Pravira, so the form which I have just shown you, you know what, how rare it is? Na Veda. By reading Vedas, you cannot understand this form. Na Yagyai, by doing fire sacrifices, you cannot understand. By doing Adhyan of Veda. So Na Ved Yagya refers to Yagya prescribed in the Vedas, Adhyan done in the Vedas, Na Danair. Na by dan, na by donation. By donation, you cannot say, Krishna, I have given 100,000 donation. Can you show me your Vishwarupa? You cannot demand Krishna. I have done so much study, Krishna. I have completed my Bhakti Shastri Module 2. You cannot ask Krishna like that. Nacha Kriyabir means Karma Kanda, puja part. Na Tapobhi, not by doing austerities. You know what? Last Ekadashi, I did Nirjala Ekadashi. What about you? I only did Nirjala Ekadashi. I'm the only one. By doing tapa, you cannot understand Krishna. Now, let's give some examples. Who did lot of Veda Adhyan and could not understand Krishna? Anyone?
The Brahman from the Krishna pastor, and Krishna and the Gopas went to ask for some food, and they say, who's Krishna is, and they just shoo them away. But Brahman Patnis, they call them and invite them and offer them food.
Haribol, very nice. See, Mohit Prabhu is very nicely giving this example of Brahman Patnis could understand Krishna, although externally they were illiterate. They were just serving their husbands. They were simple ladies of the village, but their husbands were doing a lot of Vedadhyan, but they could not understand Krishna. What to speak of serving Krishna? They just ignored the request of Krishna's friend. They just ignored. They did not even bother. Oh, these Krishna's friends are disturbing the yajna. Get out. Thank you, Prabhuji. Who gave a lot of dana? Someone else can say, but he could not understand Krishna. A lot of dana he performed. Priya Mataji, your Prabhuji had a nice example. Who gave a lot of dan but he
Karan?
still could not understand Krishna.
Karan?
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, dono husband, wife, full pade likhe. Karn give lot of donation, lot of charity, huh? He is very famous, Dan Veer Karn. No doubt this is a very nice quality, very nice quality. But when Krishna came to Karn personally, he said, come and fight on the side of Yudhishthir. What did Karn say? I cannot do that, huh? I cannot do that. For a mundane dharma, he rejected this paradharma. For a mundane dharma, huh? He is very popular, but is this quality was worth following in on the rejection of Krishna's proposal? No. Huh? He should have said, go to hell with my friendship. A supreme personality of Godhead is calling me. That's my supreme dharma. I will follow my supreme dharma. Huh? Thank you, Priya Mataji. Who did lot of kriya, like puja part, austerity? So one is tapa. Okay, let's do the tapa. Who did a lot of tapa but could not understand Krishna?
Hiranyakashipu, Ravana.
Wow, thank you, Mohit Prabhu. And Chaitanya Charitamrita also have this another example of a milk drinking brahmachari. Huh? We know the whole pastime, how he was hiding the Shiva's Angan, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Maza nahi aa raha hai, huh? Today I'm not relishing very much. And finally he said, just because you drink milk, does it qualify you to understand God based on that? And as Prabhuji nicely said, Ravana Hiranyakashipu, they did a lot of tapasya, could not understand Krishna. Huh? So we can see all these qualities are wonderful, wonderful, but they itself are not enough to understand Krishna. They itself are not enough to understand Krishna. So through this particular verse, Krishna is showing, by all these, you cannot understand, you cannot see this form of Krishna, which I've just shown you.
Bro, Durvasa Rishi, would you say him as well? One of them?
Yeah, he was a big tapasvi, he was a yogi, but he was ineligible to understand Krishna. Yeah, you can say. He only eats doop ghas. So he's a very austere person. Many examples, Prabhuji, many examples we can give. Now, Chaitanya Charitamrita also have this example of this Keshav Kashmiri, who was such a big scholar, but he was arguing with God, with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Huh? He was glorifying Gangaji in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just to show his scholarliness. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately sort of defeated him without disrespecting him. So yes, many examples are there. Okay, 1149. Priya Mataji, would you like to do?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I'll try, Prabhuji, because I'm not very good with the Sanskrit.
No problem. We are all learning, Mataji.
Mathe vyartha macha vimura bhavo.
Mate. I've lost my own tune as well. Mate vyatha macha vimura bhavo. Okay, we can read together, Mataji. Drashtva rupam ghoram idran mamedam. Vyapet bhi preet manaha punastvam. Tadeva me rupamidam prapashya. So these are all long meters, which we read. In this chapter, most of the verses are like that. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
Translation: You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So mate vyatha. Vyatha means, everyone knows, vyatha word in Hindi, disturbed, perturbed. Prabhupada writes here, troubled. Mate vyatha, don't get disturbed. Huh? Ma cha vimudha bhava. So ma word is used here twice. Na, no. Where else in a famous Bhagavad Gita verse, ma is used? Everyone knows that verse. 1866.
Sarvadharman Parityajya
Mamekam Sharanam Vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshishami ma shuchaha. Ma shucha. Ma means no. Huh? So here, no vyatha. Please don't get disturbed. Ma cha vimudha bhavo. So if you remember, Arjun was saying, I've lost my orientation. Na disho na jane, labhe na sharma. So I don't know which direction. So Arjun was completely disturbed, right? He was bewildered. He said, Macha vimudha bhavo. Don't get bewildered. Don't be disturbed. Huh? Drashtva rupam ghoram. Now Krishna is saying, Ghoram. So Krishna is actually accepting this. This Rupa was a Ghora Rupa. Huh? Very Ugra Rupa, very horrible looking form I have shown you. So Krishna, who was sort of teasing Arjuna earlier, now is accepting. Actually, it was a Ghora Rupa. Huh? It wasn't a very Saumya or sweet Rupa. Idran Mametam. So whatever I have shown you, it was a Ghora Rupa. And after seeing it, you have become disturbed. Now, please don't be disturbed. Huh? Don't be in any bewilderment. Vyapet bhi preet manaha. So bhi means bhai. Bhai means fear. Huh? Vyapet. Vyapet means now the bhai should go. The fear should go now. Preet manaha. And second thing, preet mana, your mind should become sweet. Huh? Preeta. Happy. Punastam. Come back on your peaceful mind. Tad eva me rupam idam prapashya. So now this rupa I will withdraw and I will show you the form which you desire. Mohit Prabhuji, would you like to do one?
Sure, Prabhu. Sanjaya Uvacha
Sanjaya Uvacha
Iti Arjunam Vasudeva Tatokva
Ityarjunam Vasudevas Tathoktva
Swakam Rupam Darshayam Asya Bhuya
Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyaha
Ashvashayam Asachabhitamenam
Ashvasayamasa Chabhitamenam
Bhutva Puna Somya Vapur Mahatma.
Bhutva Punah Saumya Vapur Mahatma.
Translation. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-arm form and at least showed his two-arm form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. Thank you.
Thank you. So now, why the focus has come back to Sanjaya? Because some changes are happening in the war field. Huh? When the changes are happening, Sanjaya works like a commentator. So he's giving the commentary on the things happening on the war field. So what changes are happening? Anyone can guess? So before this verse, before verse 50, Krishna still is in Kala Rupa, Vishwarupa. He's still there. But now this verse shows the changes. Now Arjun had requested Arjuna Krishna. Krishna has accepted the proposal. While Krishna is speaking, he's still speaking the Kala Rupa. He accepted the proposal. Now, verse 50, third party is saying the change has happened. Let's read what change has happened. Iti Arjunam Vasudevas Tathokta. Ukta means to say. After saying by Vasudev this thing to Arjuna, verse 49, Swakam Rupam Darshayam As Bhuyaha. Bhuya means again he's showing Swakam Rupa. So Swakam Rupa here refers to Vishnu form. So now in verse 50, the first line which is being showed, this is the Vishnu form. Ashvasaya. So Ashvasan, there's a Hindi word. Ashvasan means let be assured. It's all right. Asvasya, asacha bhitam enam. Bhitam means bhaya. So let the fear go away. Krishna is sort of assuring Arjuna, let the fear go away. And bhutvaha punaha. And then again, Krishna converted from Chaturbhuja to Saumya Vapur Mahatma. Saumya Vapur refers to Krishna's two-handed form. Huh? So Krishna from the Kala Rupa converted himself to a Chaturbhuja, Vishnu form, and then from Chaturbhuja back to two-handed form. Now, Prabhupada also writes here about when Krishna appeared as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki, he first of all appeared as four-armed Narayan, but when he was requested by his parents, he transformed himself into an ordinary child in appearance. Similarly, Krishna knew that Arjuna was not interested in seeing a four-handed form, but since Arjuna asked to see this four-handed form, Krishna also showed him this form again and then showed himself in his two-handed form. So Krishna converting himself from thousands of arms to four arms and then back to two arms, which is his original form. The word Saumya Rupa, Saumya Vapu is very significant. Saumya Vapu is very beautiful form. It is known as the most beautiful form. So this Saumya Rupa refers to Krishna's original two-handed form. Now let's go back and see what Arjun says after the form has changed. Now the change has happened. Now Arjun and Krishna is sitting on the same chariot as they were before the Vishwarupa. Let's see what Arjun is saying now. Jai Dharma Prabhu.
Sorry, which one, Prabhu? The
51.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
Drisvedam Manusham Rupam Tava
Drasvedam Manusham Rupam
Saumyam Janardana.
Tava Somyam Janardana. This is the normal tune.
Yeah, that's what. Sorry.
It's difficult to switch.
Idanim asmi sambritaha
Idanim asmi samrataha
sachetah prakritim gataha.
sacheta prakritim gataha.
When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, "O Janardana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature."
Hare Krishna. So now Arjun is seeing 200 form of Krishna, which is original form. So Dastve idam manusham rupam. So what Arjun is saying, manusha rupa, human-like form. Now, is it good to say Krishna is human-like form? Is Krishna like human, or humans are like Krishna?
We are like Krishna, isn't it?
We are like Krishna. So Arjun is saying manusham rupam. Is that right or wrong? People have doubt. I'm very surprised. Arjun cannot be wrong. He has to be right. Okay. Any
Maybe
Huh?
out of
Sorry, Prabhuji? Say again.
yeah, bro, I'm just making a guess that out of all the creatures, all the creations of God, human-like form is one of the best.
Is one
That's
of the
why
best.
we see
Okay.
Krishna. Like that's the best thing we have to compare. So
Yes.
it's how we, similar to how we discussed about Kamal. Kamal is the best creation or flower, or out of all the creations, that's the best thing. So human-like appearance of any creature is probably the best, and that's why we are seeing here.
Humans are the best. That's true. It says humans are the best creation of Brahma. In terms of so many things. Thank you, Prabhu. Now, when you talk about Kamal, Prabhu, or lotus, that's in terms of beauty. Here we're talking about human-like form. That means 2 hands, 2 legs, one
That's
head.
why he's mentioning about that, Prabhu.
Sorry, Mataji, say again.
Like, because it is not fearful, it's so pleasing to see. That's why he's
Pleasing to
mentioning
see.
so much
Yeah.
of them.
Actually, it's very simple here. Arjun is just representing that Krishna has changed his form. That's all it is. And saying Krishna is human-like is not wrong. When we say Krishna's form is material, or you have to go beyond the form of Krishna, Krishna's form is illusion, that is offensive. That is offensive. When we say Krishna is human-like form, because when we are talking from our reference, Krishna does look like human. From our reference. Now, the reference point itself is wrong. Krishna doesn't look like us. Actually, we look like Krishna. So Krishna is not like human. So, but saying Krishna is a human-like, it's not a wrong statement. It's not an incorrect statement. But when we say Krishna's form is material, or Krishna's form is illusory, that is offensive. So human-like form is perfectly fine. It's a very simple statement where it's been shown Krishna has changed from innumerable forms to 4-arm forms, and 4-arm to 200 forms. So now Drashvedam, now Krishna, I'm looking you as human-like forms. It's just presenting a fact here. Tav Somyam Janardana. Hey Janardan, Janardan means Palan Karta, one who looks after. Now, Janardan has multiple meaning, but here we just take a normal meaning. So you are doing the Palan, you're looking after the citizens, and now you're showing me your Somya Rupa. Somya Rupa means sweet form. Krishna's, as Prabhupada writes, is the sweetest form. This 200 form is the sweetest form. Idanim asmi samavrata sacheta prakritim gata. By seeing it, sacheta, cheta means chitta, conscious, prakritim gata. Prakritim gata means my chitta, my consciousness is situated again in original form. Like if you remember Arjun was very, very fearful by seeing Krishna's other form. And he was saying in my mind, I'm bhitaha, I'm vyavrititaha. So I'm disturbed, I'm fearful. Now he's saying, my chitta, my consciousness, prakritim gataha, I have come back to my normal form. That means I'm peaceful now. Okay. Yes, Rasanan Prabhuji. Or Vijay Gopi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I just have a doubt, Prabhu. Yashoda Maya, when she sees the Brahmanda in Krishna's mouth, and then later on she forgets about it, and then she goes back to the mood of her motherly love.
Yeah.
But is Arjuna is now seeing a fearful form of Krishna. Did he get back to his friendly mood later? Because after this, the war start, and then Krishna is supposed to be a charioteer. How can he allow him when he knows that he's a supreme personality of God to be a charioteer? And then when he's driving the chariot, also he just pushes with his feet
Leg.
also to give direction to Krishna.
That's
How
right.
can he get back to that mood, Prabhu?
Yeah. So yes, Arjun also comes back to the similar mood, and that's why the definition of Dwarka Parkar is they get Krishna as Lord, and then they again think Krishna as their friend or as their master or as their lover. So their mood changes. But when their mood is changed, say as Sakha in this situation, they completely understand Krishna again as Sakha. Now, how does these things happen? Mother Yashoda forgetting about the Brahmand Rupa, Arjun forgetting about all this. They said Yoga Maya is acting on them. So for us, Mahamaya acts when we forget Krishna, they also forget Krishna. But the difference again in Vraj Parkar and Dwarka, Vraj Parkar never feels Krishna as God. Dwarka Parkar sometimes feel him as God. And then they start apologizing. They start doing obeisances like Kunti Maharani is doing. Arjun is doing Namaste, Namaste. From all the corners, I'm doing Namaskar to you. Thousands and thousands of doing Namaskar to you. Yes, so he does come back to Sakha, and then Krishna is again his friend in the war and later as well. Okay, Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So actually you're saying, sorry, firstly you're saying, just to clarify, that Arjuna was then restored to his original nature. That means, so he was back in the mood of like a disciple and Krishna being the Shishya, but he's not, you're saying that he's not actually remembering that Virat Roop, or he still remembers it?
Yeah, so right now, if you see in the conversion, while the conversion has just taken place, so initially he was fearful. Now by seeing Krishna's 200 form, he still remembers Krishna has just shown me the Vishwarupa. At this moment, definitely. But what he's saying, Parkatim Gataha, I am in my original peaceful form. Because now I'm not seeing that horrible creature. Suppose you're seeing a horrible movie, not that you see, but suppose you're seeing a horrible movie and you're horrified. And now Mohit Prabhu comes and switches off the TV. Thank you, Mohit Prabhu, for switching off. I didn't have courage to even pick up the remote of the TV and switch it off. I was so fearful. So in that moment, you feel relaxed. You feel peaceful because that horror movie is gone now. And your own family is there. You feel courage. So you still have remembrance of that, but you are not fearful of that. That's the situation. It's a transition state. He's still remembering, but he's not fearful because now Krishna is standing in a two-handed form in front of him as he used to.
And Prabhu, with the two-handed form, can we also say that he is Tribhangshan form?
Yes, yes, Mataji. That two-handed form, Benudhari, Tribhang, Lalit, Yashoda, Nandan, Nandanandan, Girivardhari, all 200 form. And then he Tribhang Laitama. He is meant on the neck and on the waist and on the feet. He is three-banded form, same form. Jai Dharma Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just a clarification. So like usually we hear this Prabhupada explaining many times as the three aspects or three forms, right? Like one, he says Lord as the Brahman, Supreme Brahman, Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagat Abhyaktam Murtinam, and then Paramatma feature, and then the Bhagavan feature.
Yes, Prabhu.
So we look this Vishwarupa or Kala Rupa, is this to be considered one as a special, or is it some little bit of Bhagavan and little bit of impersonal, or how can we understand?
Okay. It's hard to categorize in that term, Prabhu, because but what we can say, it was pervading everywhere. So if you remember, it was Sarvyapak, it was pervaded everywhere. So you can say in that sense, it's a Brahman feature. But it's definitely not Bhagwan and definitely not Paramatma. Because it's been pervasive everywhere. Arjun could not see anywhere where there was a space like. Everywhere he could see Virat Rupa, Virat Rupa. So he can say in that sense he was pervading. But again, he was talking to you. So it's not just a light, a jyoti. He's talking to you. He has a mouth. He's having conversation with Arjuna. Huh? So it's definitely Bhagwan's very unique, different form. But hard to give one word sometime.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, now
So the other three are spiritual forms, isn't it? And this one is material form.
This
so
is material. Prabhupada clearly
totally
writes in
different
one of the
category.
purport. Yes, it's a material form. It's not an eternal form. Like in the spiritual world, there's no loka. Like for Narsingadev, there's a loka. For Sri Ram, there's a loka. For Krishna, there's a loka. But for this form, there is no loka. So this is the material form, temporary revealed to Arjun for a particular purpose.
So even in the Purusha Sukta, Prabhu, when they start with Sahasra Shirsha Purusha,
Yes.
so it's something similar.
No, actually, Prabhupada clarifies that in second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when what you're talking for Purusha Sukta, similar things are explained in Bhagavatam as well, that you should consider trees as the hair of Krishna, rivers as a vein of Krishna, and mountain as bone of Krishna. So this is all Prabhupada writes very clear. It's a conceptualization. It's a conceptual form. It's not a real form where, you know, Swargloka is the head of Lord and Patal Loka is the feet of Lord. Nothing like that. It's a conception. How you relate the Vishwa with big, great absolute truth. And this is how you spiritualize your vision. But there is no such form. But this Vishwarupa is different from the conceptual form. It's a real form. It's a real form. It's not a conceptualization. It's called revelation. So that one in the Bhagavatam and Purusha Sukta is considered conceptual form. You concept like that. You imagine in your mind like that Krishna's head is Swargloka, right? Krishna's belly is like middle planetary system, and Krishna's feet are the lower planetary system. Krishna's bones are mountains. But Prabhupada writes very clearly, there's no such form where mountain is the bone of Krishna. But you're trying to connect your vision, you spiritualize your vision by looking at Krishna everywhere. So that's why it's called conception, but imagination. But here it's a revelation. Revelation means God, Krishna is showing a form, temporary form, but showing it to Arjuna. Okay, so it's two different things. In terms of bigness, yes, they are both big. They are pervaded everywhere, but there's a great difference. One is reality, one is imagination.
Sure, thank you.
I'm looking at the watch, it's 9:01. As I said, we'll wrap up today at 9. It's a midweek class. So now there are 4 verses remaining. They are very important verses. I want to spend some time, 11:52 to 11:55, by Krishna. Krishna sort of summarizes this chapter. Very, very beautiful verses. So we'll cover in our next class. Sundar Gopal Prabhuji, anything?
No, we just don't have a class in the weekend. So the next.
Haribol, finally, you gave me one off. Thank you, Sundar Gopal Prabhu. No, I'm not saying thank you. Yes. So next week we'll have our class next Sunday. So next 10 days you can relax, and also please remember your exam date is 30th of July. Looks like we'll definitely achieve it. We are going in good speed, you can say. So please prepare for exam. And if we finish these chapters early, as I said, we'll continue with chapter 13. And before the exam, one day, we'll do the revision of all the key verses and some key concepts. So you're all clear. If you have any questions, you can book a time offline, and I'm happy to give time, whatever your questions are and whatever I know a little bit. We can do all those things. 30th July is the exam, and please submit your assignments as well. It's only one essay if you have not written 3 earlier. Many devotees have done 3 earlier, so all good. And 3 chapters, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, and thank you to those who have submitted your assignments today. Also, I got 1 assignment, so thank you to all the devotees. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you.